Rose hips occupy an unusual position in the vitamin C conversation. They're genuinely extraordinary in their nutritional content. Yet they remain largely unknown to most people outside of Northern European countries, where they have a long culinary and medicinal tradition. Bringing them into a more mainstream understanding requires separating the legitimate nutritional case from the romanticized foraging narrative that sometimes surrounds them. The numbers are striking. Wild rose hips can contain up to 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams of fresh weight. Oranges provide approximately 50 milligrams per 100 grams. That's a 40-fold difference, which places rose hips among the most concentrated natural vitamin C sources available anywhere in the food supply. Even accounting for the processing losses that occur between harvest and consumption, the numbers remain impressive. Commercial rose hip powder presents a more practical entry point for most people. A tablespoon provides roughly 500 milligrams of vitamin C, a meaningful therapeutic dose, in a convenient form that can be stirred into water, blended into smoothies, or added to yogurt. The quality of commercial powders varies considerably, however, and this variation matters. Processing temperature is the critical variable. Vitamin C degrades rapidly with heat, so powders processed at low temperatures retain far more of the original content than those subjected to high heat drying. Country of origin also affects quality. Wild harvested European rose hips, particularly from Scandinavia and Eastern Europe, are generally considered superior to intensively farmed alternatives. Choosing organic and verifying the processing method before purchasing is worth the additional research effort. For those with access to fresh rose hips, typically available from wild rose bushes after the first frost, which sweetens the hips by converting starches to sugars, the foraging route is nutritionally superior but requires careful handling. The interior of a rose hip contains seeds surrounded by fine hairs that are irritating to skin and digestive tissue. Harvesting without gloves is unpleasant. Consuming hips without properly removing or straining out the hairs is a mistake that most people make only once. Slicing the hips, removing seeds and hairs, and dehydrating at low temperature, ideally below 100 degrees Fahrenheit, to preserve enzyme activity and vitamin C, produces a product of excellent quality. Traditional Nordic rose hip preparations, syrups, teas, and jams have centuries of documented use behind them, which is worth acknowledging as a form of empirical validation that predates modern nutritional science. Steeping dried rose hips in hot water for at least 10 minutes extracts meaningful amounts of vitamin C into the liquid. Combining rose hip powder with acerola powder creates a synergistic whole food vitamin C formula that provides a broad spectrum of accompanying bioflavonoids. For anyone seeking to move beyond synthetic supplements toward concentrated natural sources, rose hips represent one of the most scientifically grounded options available.